Well, this sucks.
They're everywhere. We're Rich and Kirsten, and it's hard to believe, but we've been living in our van for nearly 2 months now. Last week, after climbing some of our favorite peaks yet, we packed up our van and headed to Vancouver for our second vaccine dose and for some family time. This week, we're back in the Rockies with a list of summits to climb and a summer to enjoy that is winding down quicker than we would like. That right there is Crowfoot Mountain, our objective for the day. We have a 23-kilometer slog ahead of us. It's about 10 degrees outside. It's going to be going up to about 25 here at Bow Lake. Anytime you start your day at Bow Lake, it's bound to be a pretty good one. Our summit peak is just hanging behind Crowfoot North there. Well, this is an unfortunate reality of being in the Rockies right now. The wildfire smoke from over in BC is pouring in droves. It's clouding over by the minute. We think it's best that we don't continue up Crowfoot because there's still another 7 kilometers each way, plus another 6 kilometers back to the car after that.
Welcome back to 15-minute whip-ups with Kirsten. This is the cheating edition. Today we're eating Himalayan lentils and rice. Should be tasty. It says it has mango, apples, and sassafras, rice, lentils, and black beans. 22 grams of protein per package and 640 calories. We originally packed in food today because we were planning on doing Crowfoot Mountain, which is 23 kilometers. We decided that we'd take the detour and come up to the Bow Hut. And honestly, it was super worth it, other than the fact that we can't see anything around us. We've decided we've worked up enough of an appetite that we're gonna eat our food anyways. And we've had it for a year now, so it probably should get eaten. We've created a little shale table here, which is great because we have some really nice flat rocks around here. And we're gonna try and protect the flame from the wind because it is a little bit breezy up here. Don't worry, this water is clean. Luckily, our LifeStraw bottles have a nice little measurement on the side, so we need approximately 414 mils of water.
That sounded pretty specific.
Well, that's what it says on the bag. That should do. There we go. Just occurred to me that we didn't bring a spoon. I don't know how this is gonna work. I got this. This might work. I got the silicone package. And I got some extra fiber. Turn that off. Hopefully we didn't waste too much fuel. Still need it for coffee. And now for the part I'm not so talented at. It smells nice. It smells spicy. Just give that a little slosh. It smells like curry. Seal that back up. Nice and tight. And now we wait. 12 to 15 long minutes. Hang on, I haven't whittled it enough. I've decided a carrot should make an okay utensil to eat this. Although last time we had rice this way, it didn't really soak up too good. Oh, this one's pretty good. Look at that. I don't want to get my sleeve all turmericy. It's good. The mango's a little weird, but it tastes really good. There's definitely a lot of butter powder in here. And there's a lot of food in here. Maybe plenty for two.
Bow Hut here is one of a number of Alpine Club of Canada huts that are dotted along the Canadian Rockies and are often used by mountaineers to take on some longer and more strenuous outings, especially those that require glacier travel and multiple days to reach the summit. This hut is bookable, and in a normal year you're able to book just one room for I believe $25 to $30. Right now you need to rent the whole hut and it's $400 a night. The hut itself has 2 main rooms. It has a cooking and common area, and it also has a bed area. Both are locked, so I can't show you those. But renting out one of these huts is definitely on Kirsten and myself's bucket list. It would be great to plan a nice summit that requires some glacier travel and stay at one of these huts to get out of the elements. This is pretty cool. This is just one of the many glaciers that live all the way up here. And we found like a little glaciated cave in a cool glacier pond.
Go for a swim?
I do. Do you?
I'm just kidding.
Are you gonna go for a swim?
I don't know, it's really cold. You just feel the water. It's so cold.
It's melting off a glacier.
King of the world.
This is a good one. If only it wasn't so smoky. Not exactly the peak we came for, but we also didn't expect the smoke to be like this. The forecast wasn't calling for it to get this bad.
It's completely socked in. You can make out Bow Lake and the Numtee Jaw Lodge, but just barely. It's not exactly prime hiking weather.
I had a casualty on the hike too. The wrist strap in the top of the cork for my hiking pole. It's done, it's separated. So I guess we're gonna have to take a trip into town to buy new poles for me. We're gonna have to like do a funeral for this pole. Like, this is a sad day. We've done 15 summits with these.
Could bury it on the mountain. Well, it's
We can't do that. Pack it in, pack it out.
well, if you put a flag on it, you know, it'd be like a flag stick.
Be kind of cool, I guess.
It's kind of cool, you know.
Here's another view of the Wapta Glacier. It's really difficult to give you a proper perspective on just how enormous this glacier is. It goes on for kilometers and kilometers. It continues all the way around. Up towards St. Nicholas Peak and beyond. Well, that ended up being a pretty fun 22-kilometer adventure for the day, and considering we decided to bail on our original objective, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. We got to see a glacier, and we still managed to make it to a summit. The only problem is I'm already starting to feel the ill effects from breathing in all of the smoke for 22 kilometers, so I think we're gonna have to put hiking on hiatus here until the smoke blows through, because I really don't want to deal with that again. One thing that hasn't changed about our situation, though, is we still need to find a place to camp for free tonight, and we're close to Lake Louise, so I have a pretty good idea of exactly where we can stay tonight.
Party, party, party.
You may remember from last week's video that we were having a bit of a problem with our brake pad. For whatever reason, it's come loose and it rattles down the road. It is really annoying. So we finally got a call from the dealer in Canmore 2 weeks after our first visit that the brake pad had arrived. So we woke up really early yesterday morning at Lake Louise, drove all the way back to Canmore just to find out that Ford didn't ship all of the parts they needed to put the new brake pad on our caliper. So in another 2 weeks, hopefully we'll be able to fix the brake pad and put this thing to rest finally, because this is a brand new van. We shouldn't be having brake pad issues at 17,000 kilometers.
Oh. That is disgusting.
Last night we stayed at Lake Louise Overflow again. It's one of our favorite spots to stay in Banff just because it's so accessible to everything else and it's free. It was pretty busy last night, which is kind of interesting to us because the jury's still out on if that's a valid spot or not. They don't have the pay booth anymore, but I think as long as you're out by 8 a.m., you shouldn't have any issues. There was a couple tent parties last night, including someone having a fire, which is interesting because that's the one rule they do have. Don't have a fire. Luckily, no one got in trouble last night, but I think that maybe if you're gonna go there and it's kind of pushing it right now if you're supposed to stay or not, you probably shouldn't have a fire. We took to Instagram to ask if we should stay in the Smoky Mountains or head west towards clear skies and blue lakes, and overwhelmingly the vote was for us to head towards clear sky and blue lakes. But for those of you that voted for Smoky Mountains, as it turns out, you know us pretty well, because I think we're stubborn enough to stay and wait it out and see what happens. We're headed up to the Columbia ice field now to see if it's clear there, because it is supposed to break through the day today, but it's not really looking promising. If we do head west, I think our plan is to head towards Pemberton. We're a little worried because there are a couple fires in Lillooet, which is probably the area we'd want to hike in. So it doesn't exactly bode well if the winds take over and gust the smoke into the area that we'd like to be. We're kind of worried about spending 9 hours driving just to get there to find out that the smoke is taken over, but maybe it's worth the risk. What do you want to do now?